we are covering climate change news of the day. How are you all? Greetings. Have lots of people in the chats. We are live on Rockfin, ROKFIN.com. You should be able to come hang out with me live on Rockfin. Got a couple people watching. Please come on over. And I apologize if anybody's having that problem. Really, very, very quickly, someone asked about Neorealism, the channel, my other channel. I don't know. I'm trying kind of different things, and I'm trying to A/B things and suss things out about how to best go about presenting information on the internet. So we live in a, we should have sound. Sorry, guys. Hello, hello, hello. Oh. All right. It's awesome that I talked a little bit, only for a minute. Y'all should hear me now. Y'all should hear me now. Everything should be fine. But thank you for the heads up, guys. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Sound low. Okay, what I was saying was, my other channel, Neorealism, I'm trying to figure some different things out about how to present information on the internet. We live in weird times, obviously. You know, people are being suppressed, censored. There's all kinds of weirdness going on, which is all not good and all not okay. And so I started this other channel to kind of just do different things and try and check things out. The channel is still there. I just hid it. So people have been saying that they can't find the channel, or somebody said they couldn't find the channel. It's still there. It's just hidden. So I'm going to do what I'm going to do. Now I'm going to try something different. I'm going to do Neorealism on my Black Bear News channel on Rockfin exclusively. So if you would like to watch Neorealism, it's still going to be going on mostly every day. Sometimes I'll miss a day. But it's going to be on Rockfin only, right? So no YouTube Neorealism, only Rockfin Neorealism. It's going to be on the Black Bear News channel. So all you have to do is go to Black Bear News. Rich Diana, do you have a web browser on your phone? Open up a web browser, just go to rockfin.com, sign in, and you can watch it on the web browser. It works on my phone too. So there's a Rockfin app for iPhone. But I can watch videos on the rockfin.com website on a web browser. So just go to a web browser on your Android. Just go to a web browser wherever you are. Just type in rockfin.com and then you can find it. So, okay. I don't want to go on too long about this. Last Monkey says thinking about building a social media platform for Darknet. Spooky. Right. So I'm mixing it up. Yeah, Boldo Brampos. I know it's not perfect. Not perfect. But it is what it is. The reason why I'm going to try doing Neorealism on Black Bear News, on Rockfin, is because there's an ecosystem there. The ecosystem on YouTube is dying and broken, just like our own ecosystem. So it's really hard to do videos on YouTube or do information on YouTube, especially if you're a smaller channel, because it's next to impossible for people to find you, for new people to find you, you know, to not have your channel messed with. So there already is an ecosystem on Rockfin. There's lots of, you know, progressive, lefty, you know, and righty, all kinds of progressive, weird channels over there on Rockfin. Different, you know, viewpoints, free thinkers. There's an ecosystem there. I already have 3,600 followers on Rockfin, so I'm going to try and do Neorealism on Rockfin, again, where I'm not censored, suppressed, and I can play music on Rockfin. So, peak YouTube, exactly. So the cool thing is, if you come to if you watch neorealism on Rockfin, I can play you guys music and I won't get messed with either. So good music involved as well. Raza, that's good. Okay. Anyways, sorry about the long intro. My apologies. Let's get into it. This is very scary. Did you all hear about this huge accident on I-35 in Texas? There was an ice storm or black ice on the road in Texas. And listen, I myself got stuck on the I-35 going south towards Dallas on a bus, and I was stuck there for 16 hours, and I escaped with this other guy off the bus. And we were picked up by, a couple of dudes, probably Trump supporters, in a big old 4x4, and they zoomed us out of there, and we got away. But we were stuck on the entire highway was iced out, and we were stuck in a bus for 16 hours, and they were like, we don't know when we're going to get out. It could be another day or two. And we were like, F this. Anyways, this is on I-35. There was a ice storm, and it resulted in fatalities, a huge pileup. This is not good video, but I'm going to play this for you.
This is on 35, baby. This on 35, man. Look at my nigga. Y'all pray for that, man. Lord have mercy.
It's kind of hard to see.
You know how deep this shit go?
But there's a bunch of trucks and cars piled up already on each other.
They can't stop, fool.
And people can't stop. Oh, my God. Yeah, basically, people can't stop. There's black ice on the road. They don't see what's up in front of them. They just see some brake lights. Then they try to hit the brake lights and slide right into a big old pileup. Yeah, I know it's pretty. But you kind of every winter you see videos like that. Like last year or two, I see ones out of Pennsylvania or Ohio, just huge, Chicago, big old pileups. And you're kind of like, you guys have never driven in the snow before? You guys never, you didn't check out the weather forecast? You guys don't understand about like weather situations? I don't know. I know that, I'm not trying to be mean to the people that get into these accidents, but a little bit of self-awareness would tell you to slow way the hell down or just stay off the road or just be extra careful. Yeah, Texans on ice is not a pretty thing. You're right, Poppy Davis. I learned that lesson all too well. Anyways, moving on. This from Greta Thunberg. And retweeting this Nature article that I think we already covered. But anyways, on current trends, the probability of staying below 2C of warming is only 5%. That's pretty shit. That's a shit probability. 5% on current trends. You know what? I'm gonna go one further. I'm gonna say on current trends, it's 0%. It's actually minus 5%. It's 0 fucking percent. The probability of staying below 2C. None whatsoever on current trends. Sorry for my language, guys. I apologize. But if all countries meet their nationally determined contributions and continue to reduce emissions at the same rate after 2030, it rises to 26%, as if a 26% chance was good. And what else does she need to say? And as if 2C rather than 1.5C was acceptable. So she's saying these targets are insufficient, basically. The targets are insufficient. And I'm going to add current trends, probability of staying below 2C is 0. And if all countries meet their nationally determined contributions and continue to reduce emissions at the same rate after 2030, it is also 0. Both of these numbers are 0. We are going to hit 2C. Done. Done. As Roger Hallam said, done and dusted. Done deal. We are going to hit 2C. What do we do about that? That's the reality that people need to be told. And sorry if I'm, all excited and flustered, but the coffee is strong and the news is stronger. Yeah, I'm going to say 0 and 0. Both chances of staying below 2C are 0 and 0. Sandy, 18 Fahrenheit. Wow, that's chilly. Woo. Kiwi Bear, thank you. Everyone say what's up to Kiwi Bear. Muzza, moderator in the chats, thank you for the super chat. Annie the Gardener, I wonder if anyone told Henry Ford he was going to kill off the human species. Sandy says, the worst is the truckers who jackknife. My first 20-year husband was a trucker, and I used to worry about him. He used to drive doubles up and down from Buffalo to New York City when not cross-country. Yeah. Dangerous stuff. I was once caught in a blizzard in Nebraska. Like a freak blizzard. They have, I'm sure there's a name for them. Blizzards that just come out of nowhere. Like I was driving along and I was like, there was no snow. It was kind of cold driving along. I was like, hey, is that a snowflake? And, I was like, huh. Oh, there's a little bit of snow. Literally 30 minutes later, it's like a sideways blowing blizzard, and the freeway was stacked with ice, and there were just trucks and cars on all sides of the roads. I lost a tire on the ice. It was crazy. It was a crazy thing. Anyways. Jeffy Daniel says, people skip the part about rate of change. Man is done. Dun, dun, dun. Hey, Rockfin people. We have 18 people on Rockfin. That is a great number. Let's get 20 on Rockfin today, guys. William Moy. He got it. He shows up. He made it. Or my stream showed up. I think that's what he's trying to say. Basil Peterson. Laura Neufeld, Brent McKinney, Urban Hermit, Bill Dillon. Sorry, I'm saying everybody's name wrong. Jay Thadcast, Poppy Davis. All are on Rockfin hanging out with me. And guess what? There's going to be a Rockfin exclusive neo-realism show later today at 1 p.m. So everybody tune in to Rockfin for that. Moving on. This is I don't know what the story says. I'm not really sure. Let's read through it and try and figure it out. What does it mean? What does it mean? Let's see if we can get this a little better. I don't know if y'all... Well, whatever. It's good enough. U.S. trade authorities deal blow to Biden's electric vehicle plans. Guys, we're going green. Hold on. We're going green. Guys, we're going green. Guess what, guys? We're going to go green. U.S. trade authorities deal blow to Biden's electric vehicle plans. A fight between two South Korean manufacturers puts the already shaky supply of batteries for U.S. electric vehicles in jeopardy. The U.S. International Trade Commission on Wednesday banned one of the world's biggest electric vehicle battery manufacturers from selling its cells in the United States. Why? Why did they do that? Striking a blow to the Biden administration's ambitious plan to electrify the nation's auto fleet. The decision bars South Korean giant SK Innovation from importing its batteries or the components to make them for 10 years. Not just 6 months or till next year or till we figure this out. 10 years. Does this sound? I don't know. This part of the story sounds weird to me. What is behind this banning of the batteries for 10 years? 10. What's the reason behind it? Is it because the fossil fuel industry is involved somehow? Are they paying off the U.S. International Trade Commission? Is there a competing, battery manufacturer out there somewhere? Are American interest involved in creating a battery manufacturer? Why is this happening? Seems weird. The ruling gave the automakers Ford and Volkswagen, which had designed key electric models around the SK Innovation battery, a few years to switch suppliers. Oh, what? But this just gets weirder. The decision casts a shadow over the future of SK Innovation. So we banned them, but we're going to give you a few years to switch suppliers, but we're banning them for 10 years. Does any part of this make any sense to y'all? Because I don't know. I'm having a hard time. But anyways, casts a shadow over the future of SK Innovation's $2.6 billion pair of battery facilities in Jackson County, Georgia. They already are making batteries in Jackson County, Georgia, which had already started hiring some of the nearly 3,000 workers the Seoul-based firm expected to employ by 2024. Guys, we were ready to go. In a statement, SK Innovation said it had serious concerns about the commercial and operational implications of this decision for the future of our EV battery facility in Georgia, and said it would immediately enter into discussions with our customers, Ford Motor Company, and Volkswagen. We also believe that the ITC ruling could have a serious adverse impact on President Biden's policies to combat climate change. And expand the electrification of the U.S. auto fleet in coming years. Affectionation. I don't know. I was trying to find a good way to mispronounce that. We look forward to having detailed discussions with Biden administration officials charged with reviewing the ITC's ruling and carrying out the president's policies related to electric vehicles and the environment. Guys, we were going to go green, but, the U.S., International Trade Commission just said, nah. Man, that's really going to get in the way of going green, guys. What are we going to do? I mean, they just said, no more batteries for 10 years. What are we going to do? I mean, we really wanted to go green. Weird. LG praised the decision for how it targeted SK Innovation, but provided carve-outs for its clients. Anyways. Biden, who pledged to make electric vehicles a cornerstone of his plan to rapidly scale down U.S. climate pollution, could veto the ITC decision within the next 60 days. So he can overturn it. But will he? Will he? That's the question. Everybody's waiting on the edge of their seats, or maybe nobody will notice. It's probably what they're hoping, is that nobody will notice within the next 60 days, but it's rarely used. It's a rarely used presidential power. Barack Obama was the only president to nullify an ITC decision blocking a 2013 ruling that would have eliminated some Apple iPhone and iPad products from the market. He's like, we need those Apple iPhone and iPad products. Ronald Reagan deployed the presidential veto at least 4 times in the 1980s, coincidentally, once for a battery company. It allows SK Innovation to import articles for repair and replacement of EV batteries for Kia vehicles that have been sold to U.S. customers as of the date of the orders and were originally equipped with SK batteries. So, okay, let's find out why. The issue stems from a 2017 dispute in South Korea, where LG accused former employees SK Innovation poached a violating non-compete contracts. What? I I don't know. I don't understand that sentence, so it's a little weird. As both companies set their sights on the U.S. market, LG filed a complaint with the ITC alleging SK Innovation stole trade secrets to make its batteries. After Tesla, which manufactures batteries only for its own vehicles, LG ran the country's second largest battery making operation, making cells to power General Motors vehicles. Around the time it filed its complaint, SK Innovation was becoming a new rival in the market, breaking ground on a factory in Georgia. Oh, so this is just a bit of corporate rivalry, looks like. So basically, they're claiming they stole their battery ideas. And the ITC is saying, okay. Okay. Interesting story. I wonder. I wonder too. I mean, it's an interesting story. It's kind of a weird story. I wonder if there isn't some other kind of techno espionage kind of stuff going on. Keith Hayes, we can all take a Thacker pass on the battery ban. Indeed. It's money, Lightning Rod says, so it is money. J. Thadcast got to pay for intellectual property in the Western world. Indeed, sure. Poppy Davis says, clear as mud. That's, yeah, it's one of those stories that's kind of like, it's kind of strange. Nobody, it doesn't really, I mean, it tells you what's going on, but I feel like there's something else involved. But who knows? And maybe it will all be null and void. Maybe Biden will just be like, no, we need these batteries, and maybe it won't matter. Maybe we'll just continue putting batteries in cars and making electric cars go round and round. Rich Diana, Amazon workers fighting for a union. Indeed. Yes, they are. I covered that on my neo-realism show the other day. Which you can't watch right now, but I will. I might upload that to Black Bear on Rockfin. Brent McKinney says Granholm and LG Kern tie up in Michigan with the Build Back Better. They are favoring LG Chem and Tesla probably. Yeah, I imagine this is some kind. Yeah, this is like some kind of corporate, jousting. Anyways, will it change the outcome of climate change and global warming? As Greta Thunberg just said, if we carry on with our current trends, we have a 5% chance, read by me as 0% chance of reaching 2C or not reaching 2C. Anyways, let's move on to this article. I think Go Green tweeted this out from 2020, and I think we read something like this already, but we'll quickly look at this again. The wood pellet business is booming. Scientists say that's not good for the climate. That's what they say. Trump's EPA is expected to propose a new rule declaring burning biomass to be carbon neutral as industry looks to expand its domestic markets. So they're just basically covering the fact that they're chopping down trees in the southeast of the United States and the south and southeast to make into wood pellets that are then shipped to Europe and burned because, somehow cutting down all these trees and putting them on boats, or chopping them down into pellets and then putting them on boats and then sending them to Europe and then burning them in Europe for energy. Somehow all of that is carbon neutral. I don't know, I don't know who thought that one up. But again, the psychopaths have endless ways to just dream up weird stuff and put it all, make these really kind of creative accounting graphs and pie charts and statistical charts and all kinds of stuff, and call it and go hocus pocus, carbon neutral, right? And maybe convenient that Trump passed this law or tried to pass this law. And now what is Biden going to do about this rollback of regulations? Is Biden going to tighten it up, or is he going to let it ride? That's the thing is Trump put all these things and did all these deregulations that Biden has already rolled back a few of. But there are some things which he could kind of choose to go like, yeah, we'll just let that one ride. We'll let it go. Anyways, I think we all know about the situation. I don't know that we need to really get deep into that. The situation is they're cutting down trees to burn them for fuel, and somebody has called that carbon neutral. Ecocentric homestead. Damn Europeans cut down all their forests hundreds of years ago. Richard Monroe, indeed, tree harvesting is so efficient now. Indeed, it is. William Dillon, I don't know why that's happening, but I at least the live chat is still going on. That's good. I don't know why. Everything is good on this end, so that must be something going on your end. I don't know. Hello, Rockfinners. Osama says, take the only tree that's left, stuff it up in the hole in your culture. I blew that. It's a quote from Leonard Cohen. We have 20 watching on Rockfin. Hallelujah. Osama has tipped $2 on Rockfin. Good on you, Osama. Thank you. Oh, we got up to 21. Well, right now I see 20. Oh, Brent McKinney tipped $2 on Rockfin. Bill Dillon tipped $2 on Rockfin. Poppy Davis tipped $2 on Rockfin. You guys are making my day. That's beautiful. Thank you so much. You guys are the best. The best. Jeffy Daniels, you got kicked off of Twitter. I'm sorry to hear that. In this day and age, it's all about getting kicked off of somewhere or someplace, some platform. Okay, let's finish up with this, guys. And this is we covered a little bit about this few months ago, the Enbridge Line 3. Enbridge Line 3 tar sands pipeline. And they are making sure that there's a bit of communication and coordination with the local law enforcement, Enbridge, the company, and local law enforcement. They are cooperating to thwart the protests over this Enbridge line. Curious what weapons Minnesota law enforcement is thinking of using against opponents of the Enbridge Line 3 tar sands pipeline. This is from The Intercept. Let's look at this article just a little bit from The Intercept. Minnesota police want a pipeline company to pay for weapons claimed as PPE. What? Police monitoring Enbridge Line 3 pipeline opponents submitted invoices for tear gas, batons, flashbang grenades, and other riot gear. A Minnesota sheriff's office has requested that the tar sands pipeline company Enbridge reimburse the department for nearly $72,000 worth of riot gear and more than $10,000 in less than lethal weapons and ammunition, including tear gas, pepper spray, beanbag and sponge rounds, flashbang devices, and batons. The sheriff's office of Beltrami County, which sits at the center of an indigenous-led fight to stop the construction of Enbridge's Line 3 pipeline replacement project, labeled the weapons as personal protective equipment. Wow. The invoices, some of which were first described by the blog Healing Minnesota Stories, await review by the Minnesota Public Utilities Commission. The agency maintains an escrow account set up so that Enbridge can reimburse public safety agencies for expenses associated with Line 3 construction, especially costs for policing protests. In its construction permit, the Utilities Commission clarified that the fund may not be used to reimburse expenses for equipment except for personal protective gear for public safety personnel. The commissioners did not define the term personal protective gear. You know, flashbang grenades and batons, you know, the stuff we need to keep safe, you know, from the virus or whatever. The virus of these protesters. I don't think by any stretch of the imagination batons could be considered PPE or grenades, said Tara Hauska, an organizer with the anti-Line 3 GNU Collective. I don't know how to pronounce that. I wish I did. Those are obviously militarized equipment to be used to subdue and oppress the indigenous people and allies that are resisting the project from going through our territory. The Beltrami County Sheriff's Office did not answer a detailed request for comment. So we'll just read a little bit about. We read a story about this a little while ago, but to review, for nearly a decade, Anishinaabe organizers have fought to stop Line 3, which passes through their treaty lands and traditional territory. But of course, by all means, build a pipeline through without their consent. Because that's, you know, pipelines take precedence, I guess. Enbridge is replacing a deteriorating pipeline with a new, higher capacity line that would allow the struggling tar sands industry of Alberta, Canada to more cheaply send its oil to a transport hub in Wisconsin and then on to refineries on the Gulf Coast. Opponents point to the spill risk the project poses to more than 200 streams and 700 acres of wetlands, as well as the fact that tar sands oil is one of the world's worst fossil fuels for the climate. One researcher found that the project's annual carbon output would be equivalent to 50 coal-fired power plants. Good Lord. Or good God, or whatever, however you want to say that. So far, project opponents haven't seen law enforcement deploy the munitions that were purchased, said Jenna Mastalone of the Line 3 Legal Defense Fund. Since construction began in December, however, she says sheriff's offices in half a dozen counties have arrested more than 100 project opponents for attempts to stop construction, including by locking themselves to equipment, climbing inside sections of the pipeline, and blocking workers from accessing construction sites. And the fight continues, and Godspeed to those protesters. That's all I'm going to cover of that story. But it's good to know that tear gas and batons and concussion grenades can be labeled PPE. The PPE will be a tax write-off. Yeah. Right. Once in a while, Sandy, yeah, once in a while you win like we did against Northern Access. Once in a while. Got to keep fighting. And maybe, who knows? Maybe eventually we win when they all go under. They all go down. All right, guys. I know. J Thadcast again. It doesn't make economic sense. Tar sands loses $15 a barrel on a good day. $30 during COVID. I know. And it's strange that the price, the Bitcoin bears, yes, I like that. On people on Rockfin, I'm getting paid in Raza tipping me $2. Thank you so much. I'm getting paid in cryptocurrency, so thank you guys. Whoops. What happened there? Uh-oh. Getting back to my feed here. I know. J Thadcast again. It doesn't make economic sense. Tar sands loses $15 a barrel on a good day. Let me turn the volume on that. Okay, so lastly, guys, I'm going to finish up by reading off the names of my dear Patreon supporters over the last year. This isn't all of them. Some people contributed to Patreon and then stopped after a while, and it's all good. It's all good. Patreon supporters from last year, not all of them, but most of them: Cindy Seeley, Kevin Shanholzer, Ken Greenfield, Don Haddon, The Dude, Levor Insights, Carmen Sandro 108, Gwen Webb, Bill Landry, Tim Gundlock, Slick the Skeet, Jay Thadcast, Timothy Musson, William S. Moy, African EDP, Richard Layton, Communism Will Win, Dennis Rowland, and Poppy Davis. Thank you guys so much for your support on Patreon. I really appreciate you guys. And I don't get a chance to thank everybody enough, but thank you guys so much. I will be back tomorrow at 11 a.m., the regular time. Thank you, Muzza, for your super chat. I'll be back tomorrow at 11 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, and today at 1 p.m. on Rockfin only, I will be doing a neorealism show on the Black Bear News channel. Just go to the Black Bear News channel. It will be BB Neo or something like that. Black Bears Neo Black Bears, something of that ilk. But you'll find me. I'll see you at 1.